Welcome to Kathy's Eclectic Garden. I'm Kathy and I garden in zones 5B, 6A, and today I want to share with you a couple of more features of the Garden Planner software that I've been talking about in my past few videos, and this will be part 4 of the series, and this will be the final video. So what I want to share with you today is the 3D version. And if you click on this tab here, it takes you to the 3D version. And now we can stroll through the garden. So by using the up arrow on the keyboard, you can walk through your garden. And here you can see I've got my clematis, my Sikorsky clematis on the right and my Josephine clematis on the left. As you go through the arbor, we've got petunias on the either side. And we can go down through, and this is on the left is going to be my new garden. And so this kind of shows me what that new garden's going to look like. But here are the Coreopsis plants that get a little over 2 feet tall, and back behind that are the purple coneflowers that also get 2 feet tall. And this is a Weigela bush that's back along the back. That's already there. I've had that Weigela bush for about 3 or 4 years now. And I'm going to have a couple of pots. They probably won't look exactly like that, but I will be planting a firecracker plant in each of those. And down here we've got the Proven Winners Invincible Wee White, and you can see it will come up when you click on the plant. It will come up here and it will tell you how high it's going to get. So we can just go on down through the garden, and over here we have some geraniums, and they're going to be a little bit lower. And back here we have a grass, a prairie drop seed, that'll get a couple of feet high. Now this structure here on the left, this tall structure, that is my bird feeding station. And I didn't have a way to put the bird feeders on there, but that's kind of what it looks like. And if you stroll on through here on the right, we've got swamp milkweed. And you can back up by hitting the down arrow. And that is pretty much what my swamp milkweed looks like. They did a real good rendering of that. And then here we have the button bush, and that's not exactly what a button bush looks like, but it's close enough. It gives you a good idea. And we've got our heuchera here, and this is the golden tower elderberry bush. And if you hold the left arrow or the left mouse button and move the mouse back and forth, it will kind of curve through the garden to give you a different look. So here we're looking back to the south, and here in the background you can see those are where my portable greenhouses are. And here we've got the black lace elderberry is back here in the back, and we've got foxglove in the back of this garden. And if you come back around this way then, and we'll keep going back into this garden. When you get back here, now you can turn and see here is my native garden back here. And this is my cherry tree, and I've got a bird bath back here and some more. I'm going to be moving a New Jersey tea to this area. And these are all my native plants back here. We've got a New England aster and some poke milkweed and a stiff goldenrod. So this is just a nice little feature. It gives you a general idea of what your garden will look like. It's not going to be exact. All these pots here are where my vegetables will be growing. But it gives you a nice little view of idea of what your garden might look like. Now then if you click the design tab, that takes you back to the overhead view of your garden. I want to look at the plant details screen again. We looked at that in a previous video, and something that I failed to mention, when you're putting in your information for your plant details on this plant details tab, there's an option down here to add an image. So if you happen to have a picture of the plant that you're entering, you can click on add image and just click on that and click open, and that will put the image in your plant details. Now, another feature of this program is this notebook feature, and you can see here we have a calendar, and that takes information from these plant details that we were just entering. So if you look at the Boom Chocolata hardy geranium, we say it bloomed, I entered that it blooms in June, July, and August. It also can be fertilized, or should be fertilized, in April, and it can be pruned in March. So if you go to your calendar and we look here at Boom Chocolata, pruning is the burgundy bar, and I have a burgundy bar in March, so I can come to this calendar and I know that I need to trim my Boom Chocolata in March. My coral bells, according to this, can be pruned in January. Let's see what else we have here. Fertilizing, we can fertilize the Boom Chocolata in April, and it will bloom in June, July, and August. So this can be very helpful in keeping track of what you need to do in your garden. There are also items on the plant details for sowing seeds outdoors. If you start seeds indoors to get an early start on your vegetables or some of your annuals, you can enter those and they will show up on your calendar, and then you can just come to your calendar and look at it and see each month what you need to be doing for that month. So this is a really nice feature. I use this quite a bit. If you click on some of these other tabs, you see here we've got garden notes. If you click on them, it'll bring up, because there's more, that just gives you an idea of what it shows. So you can put any kind of notes in here that you want. This one says that it needs a good layer of shredded bark mulch to help minimize water loss. And for pruning, you need to cut back the entire plant by 1/3 each spring, just as the new growth begins to emerge on the stem. So those are just little notes that you can go back and reference to help remind you of things that need to be done, or whatever note you want to put in. This will plant object list. This will give you a list of all of the plants that you've got in your garden bed, and it'll show a plant number and the quantity. So my arrowwood viburnum, I have 2 of those in my garden. Now if you've got a small garden, I can't really do it with mine because my layout is so big, but if you've got a smaller garden, you can tell it when you go into the preview, you can tell it to show numbers next to the plants, and I'll click on that, and you can see I've got numbers everywhere. But if you just had a small garden like here, it shows that plant number 148, and if I would go back to my object list and scroll down to plant number 148, that tells me that that's a hydrangea. So that's another nice feature. So that's about it for this garden planning program. I hope you've enjoyed these little videos that I've done on how to use it, and hopefully you'll give it a try, and it'll be as helpful to you as it's been to me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.